Oh no.
Missing.
Greg?
Missing.
I thought this was a duet.
Missing.
Oh, so you're just gonna sing all the parts? Those are not the right sounds.
Missing.
Can you hear me?
Missing. Oh, missing.
Bonk. Bonk. Welcome to Miss Thing.
I'm Greg.
And I'm Tim, and this is a podcast that celebrates and appreciates the missed things of the past, present, and future.
Yeah, in every episode, we take a key moment from our Miss Thing storied career and do what we do best, which is make it all about us.
Yep.
Wait, I had an experience, not to sort of dive right in, but I had an experience that was so unlike any I've ever had before in my life.
Okay, please tell.
Well, yesterday you were having issues with your air conditioning, as you know. You're
week.
more than welcome to talk about on the pod.
Oh,
You
yeah.
were sort of
when
accusing.
you broke the AC.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, listeners. Right before this last episode that we filmed, I was like already sitting down, and so Greg came out of the bathroom. and was like, "Hey, Greg, can you just like turn the AC off?" And he did that, and then mysteriously for the rest of the day, the AC would not come back on.
Yeah.
I was not accusing him of it, but it was.
You said it several times.
It was hard to. It was just hard to kind of be like, "Well, you were the last one to touch it, so what
Yeah.
did you exactly do?"
Yeah, you didn't accuse me, but you did say you were the last one to touch it, sort of multiple times.
And I did say you're paying for it regardless.
Yeah, no, and I did receive the bill via certified mail
Yeah.
last week. I had to sign for it.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, so I had an ongoing, construction project going on. I had an AC guy in my home yesterday, sort of
AC
turning
Slater.
on. Yeah, sort of. I wish.
Okay. I get really nervous. It's like, Saved by the Bell.
No, I know who AC Slater is, of course. My secret crush. Sarah Michelle
Nice.
Gellar was my real. Tiffany Amber Thiessen was my real my crush.
I mean-
AC Slater was my real crush.
Honestly, every single person on Saved by the Well.
Saved by the Well, Baby Jessica. Crossover app.
This is a tangent, but my sister and I used to always fight in the morning when we were getting ready for school. I would always want to watch Buffy while I was eating my breakfast.
In the morning.
the morning.
Buffy in the morning.
Buffy in the morning on FX.
Buffy with your Cocoa Puffs.
Anyways, my sister would do that with Saved by the Bell, and we would fight over who got to choose if it was Saved by the Bell or Buffy.
Yeah, I was watching Saved by the Bell in the mornings. What channel
FX,
were they?
FX, baby.
FX.
Have you heard of it?
One of my favorite
It's
stations.
where they do drama. Sorry, I believe it's TNT. They know drama.
TNT, yes.
Right?
And then there was TBS, the Superstation.
Was that their tagline?
I'm not sure. I'm getting lost.
We're getting lost in this sauce. Anyways.
But I mean, you better believe I would turn on TNT right now and sort of watch it for hours.
Well, we are
and
the
hours.
drama, so we really should be. TNT sponsor us.
Yeah, TNT.
We know drama. Okay, back to your AC.
Oh yeah, I forgot what I was talking about. Long story long, he was there working on it for a few hours, and it was sort of when he was almost finished, I was sitting at the kitchen counter. I was working, and he came up to me, and there was a bowl of stone fruit. So everyone, I'm about to say the most disturbing thing I've ever said in my life. I love stone fruit season.
Wait, can you... First off, I had an amazing stone fruit pie over the 4th of July.
You did.
And I didn't... And then I had to whisper to Anthony at a certain point.
What is stone
What
fruit?
are stone fruits?
Yeah.
So I would like you to remind the listeners. Of course, I know and I remember the answer.
Of course you know. Yeah, and it's like a peach. It's,
anything with a pit. It came back to me, right? That's what a stone fruit is anything with a pit.
And the amazing thing about that is I knew that. I knew that. And the thing is, we both know
what the stone fruit are. Yeah.
Yeah, we both know that. Mm-hmm. So we got like a full bowl of stuff. He's almost finished. And he comes over to me as if he sort of knew what he was doing. This is a grown man. I would say he's in his 60s.
Oh, okay.
And he goes, "Oh, I'm so hungry." Can I have one?
No. My whole body just like tensed up.
Why are you doing that voice? Like, you're a grown man doing a baby voice. That's only cute when I do it. Okay? You don't have the goods.
I don't know.
But yeah, imagine a grown man sort of doing that to you in your own home.
Wasn't going to tell this in the pod, but we had two people come.
2 people.
And I actually, they came in and it seemed like it was a really hot day out. So I just very like gracefully was like, would you guys like some LaCroix? And I also have some fruit if you want like an apple. And I just like offered it up. It was like a very just like from the bottom of my soul, like just a sweet thing I wanted to do. And they took it and I didn't think anything about it, you know?
Oh yeah, I've never seen fruit on your counter, nor have I been offered. You sort of give me leftover cookies.
Well, you're fruity enough.
Hey, wow. All right.
Wow.
Do you happen to have a Dodd Mom sauce, Tim? That's Doll of the Day, Mother of the Moment, Sister of the Second, our famous segment where we talk about what we're currently obsessed with.
I do. And this is like a new one for me, which is I never do movies. But this movie
I know where you're going with
yes,
this.
it completely delighted me. It became my obsession this Sunday. I'm late to the game, but I saw Twisters. Mm-hmm. And we were talking earlier in the podcast year about how cinema is down.
Yeah.
There are no good movies this summer. And I stand corrected because Twisters is that girl. She is cinema herself.
Okay.
She is fun. She's light. She's summery. She's action-packed.
Okay.
She is just like, it's exactly what you want out of like, you just get a big bowl of popcorn and a soda and some candy.
A bowl of popcorn at the theaters.
Yeah, you say, don't give me a bucket, give me a bowl. Okay. You know? And then you just sit back. I will say my big regret is I know you could see Twisters in like 4D, I guess, and like then the wind can be blowing you around.
Sure,
I wish that I did that experience.
You walk out with a broken neck.
By the way, I think that those people are lying. The people on TikTok who like show what they look like post-seeing the movie and their hair is like completely a mess. And I don't know what it says about me, but I'm like, you guys are doing this for the camera. Like you did this and you've moved your hair around.
Of course. You must and you fussed your hair. You brought the leaves that you stuck in your hair.
Meanwhile, me, like I would do a video not touching my hair at all and everyone would be like, whoa!
Were you just in Kansas?
You're like, he's been through a tornado.
I have a question, a very important question. Were there cows?
Okay. Now, as much as I love the movie, I cannot remember. I believe there was one. There wasn't two like I wanted. 2 cows. Maybe there was, but there was so much going on. But this is what I want to say to listeners. If you haven't seen it, it's fun. Don't go in thinking like it's the best movie of the entire, year, but go in being like, this is just like a fun thing. I'm going to be entertained. I'm going to see some tornadoes. I'm going to see Daisy Edgar Jones attempt to do an American accent, and sometimes it will work, sometimes it won't. It will not matter because she is stunning and she is a good actress.
She does look very British. There's some people who look British.
There's something about the movie that's like, it is very clearly a studio movie done right. It like all works. They all have chemistry. Maura Tierney as the mom.
Okay, I wish you hit me with a spoiler alert.
Also, person, and I'm going to help you out because everyone in the theater was whispering to whoever they're sitting next to. They were like, is that Kiernan Shipka? Because you will not believe the small role that Kiernan Shipka plays in the movie.
I would believe that. I feel like Kiernan Shipka shows up a lot.
I know, but I would think that she's big enough to like basically be the star, but she's not. There's a lot of...
A Miss thing for sure.
There's a lot of Miss. There's Sasha Lane, that girl from American Honey with Shia LaBeouf. There's I think Katie O'Brien she's in that movie.
Never heard of that.
She's also been in that Kristen Stewart like wrestling movie that just came out.
What's that?
No. Anyway, a lot of Miss things. Everyone drop what you're doing. Like completely do a U-turn in your car as you're listening to this. If you're in the shower,
Get the Dorothy.
if you're in the shower, get
So
the
you
Dorothy
can
5.
unleash
Yes.
it as a theater, the Dorothy 5.
Yeah.
Is that what the technology we're working with in the new one?
There's an homage to the Dorothy.
Well, at
in
least
it.
there's an homage to the Dorothy because I wanted an homage to the cows. It feels like a missed opportunity.
Yes.
And now I think I'm disappointed before I've even seen it. But
No, you're gonna love it.
how was Glenn?
Glenn is good. He is exactly what you want him to be. He's winning, charming. He has chemistry with Daisy.
Can I ask you a very, very important question? And it's something that's really been like on my mind that I can't quite figure out. Are we sexually attracted to Glenn Powell?
Now, I was talking to my volleyball team about this not too long ago.
Oh, okay.
And I was the only one who said, unfortunately, yes, I am very attracted to that man, because everyone was trying to say that he wasn't. And I was like, guys,
You're the only one.
I was kind of like, but that feels like people are trying to prove a point where I'm like, guys, objectively, he is attractive. He can't, but I understand if he's not. I'm like, look at the man's body of work.
Exactly. Sure. No, I'm so confused about him because
confusing.
So confusing, the version with Glenn Powell and me, and that dog that he's holding in that picture.
Oh, yes. Mm-hmm.
But I'm not sure. Like, I feel like it's like
that if you saw him in real life.
I don't actually. I think
Really?
if I saw him in real life, it would really turn me off.
If I saw him in real life, my basement would be flooded.
For sure.
Call the plumber.
F5 come and get in the storm wherever you go, and you close the door that rips off and you get flown into the sky.
Exactly.
But you need to put the belt, wrap yourself.
I almost just I was going to do a joke that would have given away Twisters, but I didn't.
I feel like it's probably beat for beat,
Nope, you would be surprised. Don't come for Twisters here and today. Anyways, Greg.
Okay.
Greg, do you have a dad mom sauce? And what is it?
Okay. First question, yes.
Okay.
Second question, I'm also recommending something that I've been watching, and I'm really late to the game on. And I've actually been wondering if you've been watching the Dallas Cowboys cheerleader Netflix documentary.
No, I have not, but I've heard multiple people talk about it.
It is so good.
And it's not at all related to the Cheer on Netflix?
No, but I think it fills the void
Okay.
of Cheer. Obviously, I think Cheer just hit a little bit of an area that it couldn't overcome for season 2. It has that athleticism.
Okay.
So it's like Cheer meets, I want to say Drop Dead Gorgeous.
Oh, okay.
Meets
Greg, you are being psychic because that's going to come back later in the pod.
Tim.
Okay.
Of course. You don't need to tell me what I'm being psychic. Okay. I can read the vibes. No, and also it's a little waiting for Guffman. So it has this amazing, it's an amazing genre in my opinion, which is auditions. Basically the whole thing is them auditioning for the Dallas Cowboys cheerleader squad.
Which I bet my first and only girlfriend, Olivia, is on Famous Cheerleader.
I wanted to ask you about that because the psychological and physical torture these girls go through is unmatched.
Olivia would know about that after dating me.
I know, but she was ready for anything. No, these women are, they're everything to me. The pacing, everything. The
30 minutes, hour long.
It's an hour long, or maybe in between. I think it's 45 on Netflix.
Okay.
The episodes feel like they are 30 seconds long.
Okay.
It is so, I don't want to say it's funny. It's dramatic, but it's not too heavy. Although they're making cuts throughout the entire experience, so there's cuts randomly, and the scenes where they cut these girls are the most devastating, machetes to the stomach. Ooh. It hurts so bad. There's some incredible characters. There's this girl, I think her name's Anissa. She's 31, and they can't get over how old she is. She's also a full-time orthodontist. And she's trying out for this team at 31. And they find things to sort of fault her on all the time. She's beautiful. She's luminous. There's a girl named Kelly from Weehawken, New Jersey. And as a fellow New Jersey person, I can see that she is not part of the culture. She's just not part of that Dallas culture. And yeah, they make her dye her hair brown.
What color was it originally?
It's blonde.
Okay.
It's box blonde.
Yeah.
And she's apprehensive about it. She's like, I haven't had brown hair in years and years. And they're like, no, you should do it. You got to do it. The second she dyes her hair brown, they don't like her anymore.
Very America's Next Top Model.
It's so cruel.
Wow.
It's just amazing. There's a girl named Reese who's like the most Jesus. She's like, Jesus is like moving my mouth right now.
Yeah.
Like literally everything. Jesus is like absolutely like
Jesus is moving our mouths with this
Jesus,
pod.
I'm not sure Jesus is moving my mouth right now. But Jesus this, Jesus that. Jesus has me sitting in this bed right now and like crying about how like the plan and everything. And she's so like demure and shaky. And then she gets up there and she is like the hottest, like the way, like the sex that just oozes from her when she gets on the field. I couldn't recommend it enough. It's so exciting.
You're really selling me. Wait, but I'm realizing that I wanted to do a game during my thing and I completely forgot.
Oh,
and
well.
So it's out of order.
Hop yourself on back there.
So I have a game for you, Greg, based off of Twisters. So the game is called Reboot or Girl Just Salute. So you have so it's either reboot the film or basically like
say goodbye.
No, just like leave it as is. Like just salute it.
Girl,
be like it was
salute.
good the first time.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
sure.
Girl, just salute.
That's so military for me. I would wave a handkerchief. But,
okay.
Yeah, but
I'm trying to rhyme.
Of course. Of course.
Girl.
Gert. Wait. Gert reboot. Girl reboot. Wait. Reboot or girl just salute?
Okay. First one. Dante's Peak.
Reboot.
Okay.
Actually. Oh. Reboot. Oh. No, it's perfect. Salute.
Yeah. Armageddon.
Reboot because I'd like to hear the soundtrack.
Okay. Drop Dead Gorgeous.
Girl, just salute.
Yep.
You can't touch it.
The Greatest Showman.
Well, my team needs to get me in front of whoever's making it, which is me, because I am writing it, directing it, writing all the music, and I've got a star in it. So yes, reboot.
And you're Hugh Jackman?
I'm all of the characters.
Okay.
I'm doing all of the characters.
Okay. Showgirls.
Never enough. Never enough. Showgirls, you said?
Showgirls.
It is the perfect, flawless film of all time, so let's leave.
Okay.
Unless we get the original cast and actually do shot by shot, Gus Van Sant Psycho style.
Oh, yes.
Remember,
yes.
yeah. Which I would be open to. Otherwise, girl, just salute.
Yes. Death Becomes Her.
Well, again, if we write
Thank you.
the
reboot. I was kind of
reboot,
setting you up there.
and star in it,
Yes.
sort of Greatest Showman style. We're getting in. That's our thing. We write Hollywood reboots and star in them.
Yeah.
Then reboot.
Okay.
Otherwise, girl, just salute.
Lincoln.
Well, let's salute.
Okay. The Green Book.
Well, it was such a hit the first time around.
It won Best Picture.
That's true. Let's reboot it. Let's reboot it for modern times.
Yeah. Shallow Hal.
If tastefully done, I'd like to see a reboot.
And last but not least, Gigli.
Reboot, of course.
And that's the game.
That was fun. It was hard.
Should we take a break?
Yes.
Let's take a break. Welcome back.
It's time.
I mean, we got to get right to it.
Yeah.
This week's Miss Thing is honestly a first for us in that we're doing kind of a new girly on the block.
Yeah.
Usually we're doing people who have, been there, been doing
that.
it. Yeah, exactly.
Sort of as people would describe us. Been there, done that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And
got the t-shirt.
Yeah, exactly. But this woman deserves, she has already in her short time pierced the culture.
Yeah. Sort of the only person I see on the famous app TikTok anymore.
And rightfully so. She has earned her place. She's been working for a while. She's like finally now, like people say it's an overnight success, but like she's been doing it for 10 years, like classically, like just like us, and we're overnight successes.
Yeah, of course.
But I mean, have we said her name?
No, not yet. But we... I just to sort of go off what you're saying, this is a first of a kind, but also she has become so undeniable in the culture, and the talent is undeniable, even, for naysayers like I was at a certain point. I think she's really just like breaking through and breaking down people's walls.
Yes. And that person is
Chappell
Roan. And I will say this, I think the thing that I really am enjoying about her rise, it's very much like Samantha in Sex of the City to her model boyfriend. I forget his name. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Blonde. He shaves his head. She says to him when she's trying to make him famous. Smith. So when Samantha is talking to Smith and she says, first come the gays, then the girls, like then the world or something. And that's very much Chappell, where it's like the gays, we all knew about her for a while.
Yes.
There hasn't been like an exciting pop girl like to come who feels like theatric, but like it feels organic, like it's not like a bit, and it feels like exciting. And like the last person to me was like Lady Gaga, who had this where it's like they came in, they had costumes, but like she also feels current, where it's like, yes, she does all these looks, but then sometimes she's just like wearing like jeans and a t-shirt, and I enjoy that she's like can do both things, and it feels very, I guess, Gen Z in the sense of like I'm like doing these homages to a lot of like older pop culture references that I like, but I'm also just gonna, if I want to wear a t-shirt and jeans, I will. I just love all the stuff that she's doing.
Yeah, I agree. It's been a tough road, for a long winding road for me and the Midwest princess, but ultimately I've recently come around to her. I had listened to her music before, but it hadn't quite hit me. Like I wasn't, the theatrics, the look, it wasn't all coming together. And this is a tough thing to admit, but the first thing that sort of got me into like really respecting the songwriting, which is top notch, was a little thing called AI Muppets. And it was, a Squidward type animated creature singing Pink Pony Club with a very bizarre voice, but I was really moved by the performance, and I heard nuance and beauty in the songwriting that I had not previously been open to, which is a tough thing to admit, but I thought, hey, this is actually gorgeous.
I remember this day because I was trying to get you and some of our friends into Chappell for a while, and you were not having it.
And I do turn a deaf ear to you.
Yes,
often.
Yeah. And then I remember the day vividly when you said, you know what? I think I finally come around to Chappell. And I said, really, what's done it for you? And I thought it was going to be the festival performances, the looks, the new songs coming out. And then when you told me that, I stopped dead in my tracks. And then I took a step back and said, you know what? However you get there, welcome.
I've been thinking about this. And I think, sometimes, and I also think this is what was sort of holding me off from her for a little while. Sometimes you don't like things in other people that you see in yourself.
Yes.
And there is a theatricality, which I have completely turned the page. I really, really love her. There's a theatricality going pop that felt like sweaty to me, or that I was resistant to. And, of course, I have.
You of all people. Yeah, I was like, wow, this actually makes so much sense to me all of a sudden.
It should. But I was doing some research on her, and I learned that she, as recently as last summer, was a camp counselor.
No, last summer?
Yeah. Wow. Last summer. But okay. I think I time checked the article, but it was recent.
Yeah.
But I have done several theater programs, as discussed ad nauseum on the pod. So, of course, I've done the Paper Mill. Between 8th grade, I think, and high school, I decided to switch it up. And the New Jersey Performing Arts Center, NJPAC, in Newark, was doing a summer program as well. So I thought, let's switch it up and go there. So anyway, I'm doing the NJPAC summer program. It's a little farther away from my house. It's in Newark. So we had like 2 other people nearby, like in a town nearby, and we like got in a little like carpool pod.
Okay.
One of the girls I knew, 2 girls. One of the girls I knew because I had just done a production of You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown with her. I was Charlie Brown, of course.
Okay.
She was Lucy.
Okay, so we've got some stars in the
stars, yeah. I was Charlie Brown pre-voice change. I was sort of singing everything an octave up.
Okay.
Like that.
Yeah.
And she, I think, had a lower voice than me, but and we needed to opt down an octave, but that's another story. So this other girl, neither of us knew. Let's call her Snoopy.
Okay, great.
For the purpose of the story. But I, as the summer was going in this program, I realized that it was like just my mother, and sometimes my father, and Lucy's parents, her mother, her father. And it was just our parents driving. And occasionally Snoopy's dad would hop in, but I guess he worked. And we'd met Snoopy's mom, and she's really cool. And I of course, love moms. I'd go to my friends' houses when I was a kid.
With moms.
I kill
We're
moms.
Gay, after all.
Oh, my God. I'd go to my friends' house. They'd be playing video games. I'd be sitting in the kitchen with Shirley.
Having a lemonade.
talking town gossip.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, we're like halfway through the summer. I'm told Snoopy's mom is going to be driving us one day this week.
Oh no.
Why do I have all these car stories? I'm just realizing.
No, I mean, we spend half our lives in cars.
In cars, you know. It's so true. I spend more times in cars than sleep.
Riding in cars with boys.
Of course. And in this case...
And Snoopy's mom.
Oh my God. So I'm told Snoopy's mom is going to be driving.
Yeah.
It's fine. Just you have to wake up an hour earlier. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, is this woman so busy that like I have to like what? First of all, I need to like. Anyways, but I was very like hardcore. As you know, you need to get there early. Anything for the show. In this business, if you're 15 minutes earlier on time, if you're on time, you're late.
Yeah.
And you don't
and
need
if you're
to
an
say
hour early.
and you don't need to say anything about, me arriving to this recording a full half hour late this morning. I would
never. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, then
I would never do that, but
I
would call you out for breaking my AC.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then, in that case, that didn't happen today, so we can just move on.
No.
But you have to get up an hour early, and just you'll be fine. But so we get in the car. I'm bleary-eyed. I'm exhausted, but at least I'll be there on time, early, whatever. I can warm up, do my stretches, what have you. So a full hour goes by. We're still not there. I don't know anything about directions. I am like the least direction. I have north, south, east, west, left, right. I don't know.
Oh, we are very simpatico.
But I am noticing that we've been in like neighborhoods and places that I've never even seen before, and I'm kind of like, well, what's the deal? No. Why are we not there? Like, what the hell is going on? And also, we're about to be late. So I start losing my shit.
Yeah.
As Subi's mom, only to discover from her daughter,
Yeah.
this woman is afraid of making left turns. She has a phobia of making left-hand turns.
What?
So we needed to leave an hour early. We were still late. You think I took that information well? No, that's a real fear.
Wait, so what? Yeah, and you probably told her. You told her what you thought. Yeah.
I was like, you are going to ruin my career with a bunch of these people who are teaching who actually have no hiring ability.
And also it's so unbelievable. Like, I'm so sorry I was late. Like, the person who was driving me can't make left turns. Yeah.
So we're going we are going all completely out of the way just to avoid left turns.
I mean, I think that this should also be your Dodmom sauce and also Diva Down. Like, this woman is kind of, and Miss Thing, it's like all wrapped into one. Wow. Okay, wait, so when you say that you lost your shit, can you describe what that was?
Well, first of all, I immediately resort to looks.
Oh, of course.
No, I
Eyebrow
was just
raises.
I couldn't understand, so I was so... Mm-hmm. First of all, I was bereft that I was going to be late because I thought I'm like, you are going to make me look bad. Yeah. I just sort of was absolutely dunking on this woman for her inability to make left, and I was like, if you don't make a fucking left and get us there,
I'll give you a phobia.
Yeah, if you don't get us there ASAP, I'm going to make your life miserable. Anyways, I wish her so well. It's actually an amazing thing to employ whenever you don't want to drive anywhere. Just tell people that you can't make a left-hand turn and that you will make them late.
The next time I'm late, that's the excuse. I'm like, sorry, I have a fear of turning left.
Lost my ability to make left-hand turns.
You can't really come back. You can't really, like, if you're late to work and then you say that, it's like, well, it's like a fear of mine,
How do you make Chappell about you? Because I've gone on for far too long.
Okay, well, how I make Chappell about me is I think of her song, Hot to Go.
Oh, of course.
And I think of how I interpret that song is one time, very recently, this past New Year's, in fact, I was hot to go to hang out with you and our friends in 29 Palms. And so the night before I was supposed to leave, my flight gets canceled. And so I can't remember if it gets canceled or like rescheduled, but like I was basically going to get it in like 12 hours later and I was going to miss like the first 12 hours with you guys.
Of course.
And so then I had my new flight was like waking up at 4 a.m. Chicago time, 2 a.m. LA time. And so I start this.
Wait, it's only 2 hours?
2 hours,
okay.
So I'm a Midwest
princess.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. And so
rise and fall?
only rising for me.
Oh, okay, sure.
And so I, basically start this journey, 2 a.m., let's say Los Angeles time, fly to LAX, then get an Uber. It's like an hour to my apartment. Then by myself have to drive like basically 3 hours to 29 Palms Joshua Tree.
It's a long day of travel.
It's really long. And I think I should back up here and say this is a story of a hero overcoming obstacles, insurmountable challenges, a lot of setbacks. And those setbacks come from places you would least expect.
Sure.
Yeah. So this hero has already had to overcome all of this travel. Mm-hmm. I'm like, you know what though? It's going to be worth it because this journey leads to such a prize at the end. My friends, who are going to welcome me with open arms.
Of course.
And so I'm just like, the whole time I'm like, okay, this is now like hour 8 of this travel, but like I'm just thinking of like, can't wait to hug my friends when I get to this house.
The airlines have been so unaccommodating.
Yeah.
Everyone's been so accommodating, but my friends surely
there was traffic, and I was just had this mantra of just get there. You will feel relaxed when you see your friends. They will make you feel at home. So I, Finally get there after hours and hours. I wearily take out my suitcase. I'm like, have all my bags in my hand. I'm lugging them to the front door. I get there thinking like, oh, I finally made it. I can relax. And what do I find? But I find on the door a note. And this note, listeners, I'm surprising Greg on the pod. I have the note, listeners.
Is it laminated?
Yeah. No, it's the tape. It's the tape. It's
Same tape.
It's truly the thickest, hardest tape possible. And I would just like to read this here live on pod.
Oh, sure.
I
Famous
come to
note.
this handwritten loose leaf note taped with the most tape a note has ever had. And it says, Tim, period. Welcome, period. No exclams.
Welcome, Tim.
And then says, we went into the park for a while, meaning Joshua Tree.
Huge park, by the way.
Huge park. Meet us here if we're not back. And then I can only describe, you can, if you're on YouTube, you can look at it, a Scooby-Doo drawing of just like horizontal and vertical lines that just have like being like 29 Palms Hallway 62, and then a big drawing of a skull that says Skull Rock with an X by it saying Jumbo Rocks, we are here, see you soon. And then I'm so tired and delirious that not for a second do I think that my friends are pulling one over on me. I'm like, wow, okay, I guess this is just, they could have texted. This is so weird. And am I being crazy that this is actually the hardest to understand map of all time? I'm so tired, and I'm just like, well, I have no choice but to meet them. The house is locked. So I attempt to rip off the note. It takes me a good, I want to say 2 hours to do that because of the amount of tape.
Yeah, your eyes in the nest.
I honestly strained my arms, my like huge biceps, trying to rip off this tape.
Yeah.
And then I slowly walk to my car.
Back to the car. To hit the road.
Hit the road, yeah, and try to understand where this map
Yeah.
is. And then as I get to my car, everyone rushes out of that house. And listeners, I would just like to point out that Greg has famously said that he is anti-prank here on the pod. And what did he do to me as soon as literally like 7 months ago? He pulled a prank over on me. So I would just like to confront you live here.
Yeah, you are confronting me with that on the pod.
And ask you how you feel about this situation. And were you the one who came up with this?
Well, look, I was there. I was part of the group.
You were, I believe, huddling underneath the window watching it.
I was huddling underneath the window. I was holding my dog, sort of covering their mouths to make sure that they, to make sure they couldn't even breathe, because I was like, don't make any noise. We can't. Yeah, I was a part of it. I didn't write the note. Famous producer Benji actually wrote the note. That's his handwriting and his drawing skills.
Wow, I thought this was your handwriting. Okay.
You thought that was mine.
Yeah,
okay, so you were sort of been blaming me all this time. No, I was,
You seem like the mastermind.
And look, did I
take joy in this?
Yeah, did I think it would be funny? Yes. Did I laugh? Absolutely. I will say I'm so amazed by how good of a sport you were. Sure, you were utterly exhausted, but I was expecting you to sort of have some choice words and like sort of a negative, averse reaction to it. And you just sort of went, huh, okay.
I think that the biggest reaction I had was, I do think I said bitch when I was trying to rip the tape off of the note, and I was like, it could not be more tape on this note, and I cannot get it off of the door. That is, I think, the most frustrated I got, was like, I will never get this note off the door.
Yeah, and we wondered actually if we should have let you drive away, and then sort of
very much. I was basically reversing out of the car, out of the driveway.
Yeah, you were. I think you had turned on the vehicle. It was hilarious.
I will say, I do think that this, and I don't know if we've talked about this in the pod, famously, I do believe that Zientek's don't give good reaction. Don't give good reaction in the sense of like
It was a good reaction.
when we
You started blowing out the mic. In your arm.
is like I feel like it's understated, which is kind of like when you give me a gift or you give me anything. Like I think people want me to have bigger reactions,
Yeah.
and I'm just like cool, calm, collected, just like James Dean over here. You know,
Totally.
Very
That is what
very
they say.
current reference, yeah.
Very current reference. Yeah, James Dean. Well, you handled
Yeah.
it like a pro. For someone that loves pranks, yeah, you were very non-responsive. You sort of went, "Oh, when we told you when we come running, Tim, it's fine." You're like, "Oh." And
I think I was also at that point like so. I was just like
You
so
were
relieved I didn't have to
exhausted.
figure out the Scooby Doo drawing. I was like truly like I cannot understand this. Like I'm gonna try to obviously input it into Google Maps because like you, I do not know directions without Google Maps. You know,
Of course, and your Google would stop working in the park.
Oh.
At a certain point, and I think we made sure of that too. We were going to send you to a location where you wouldn't be able to.
I
have
just
GPS.
there was just for me there was no part of me that thought my friends know the journey that
We
I
do
had
that.
been on.
No,
They
we
would-
knew.
They would never be so cold
Yeah.
as to pull this at the end of this journey for me.
Yeah.
And yet I stood corrected.
You stood corrected,
Yeah.
and honestly, to this day, I still think it's one of the greatest pranks.
Oh,
of all
I
time.
loved it. By the way, as someone who loves pranks, I loved it.
I, of course, when you said hot to go, I thought you were going to talk and brought up that trip to 29 Palms. I thought, of course, you were going to talk about New Year's when we decided to go to Taco Bell after midnight, which was one of the only things open. We went to
Yeah.
get some food.
Yeah.
And the person working the drive-thru was mad at us for coming and then took forever to get our order.
Well,
And
also,
then-
I believe you and Vat
ordered
acted
a
like you
lot.
had never been to a Taco Bell before. Both you and Vat looked at the menu and were like, cheesy gordita crunch. And then, like, low-key, we're like, now, can you describe what that is? And we were all like, just,
No, I would never ask that. Don't say both of us. I will take credit that I probably didn't know what to get. But I would
Yeah.
not be asking anyone at Taco Bell to describe an item to me.
It did feel like we were in that line forever. And it was both you two waiting, trying to figure out what you guys wanted. And then also the woman could not be bothered and was shocked, quite frankly, that at midnight on New Year's, when that's like the only restaurant in 29 Palms,
yeah, in the
and she was
vicinity.
like, "What? Why would someone's coming to me like after having a drink or two on New Year's to Taco
Yeah.
Bell?"
She was thrown and she was angry. And by the time we got up there to get our food, there were 2 cars behind us, 2.
Yeah.
And she goes, "Look what you've done." She said, "Look what you've done."
Honestly, icon.
That's our fault that two additional
Well,
cars
and
were
it
at
could have been you and Vat's fault in the sense of how long you guys were deciding. You're like, do I want?
And in all that time, 2 cars appeared in the line. Not like a long
Yeah,
line.
yeah.
Two cars.
Yeah, and then by the time we got our food, there was probably like 8 because I think she like was. I think she was
Well,
doing.
she was
She was doing that
reprimanding
TikTok
us.
girl saying like making their tortillas by hand, and then going out and like milking a cow to get the cheese. Like it took forever to get that meal.
Oh, yeah. And ultimately, it was just a bunch of cheesy gordita crunches, and it wasn't a very intricate order. I'm remembering
Yes.
I have a game that I'd like to play
Okay.
with you. Okay, this game is called Broadway Bound or Hollywood Calling.
Love it.
And you need to decide if these people belong on Broadway,
Okay.
bound to Broadway,
Mm-hmm.
or if Hollywood is calling and they have a career
Okay.
on the big screen. Cynthia Erivo.
Oh, Hollywood Calling.
Okay. Renee Rapp.
Broadway Bound.
I'd have to agree with.
Okay, I might be in trouble for that.
Ben Platt.
Broadway Bound.
Leah Michelle.
Broadway Bound.
Okay. Neil Patrick Harris.
Broadway Bound.
All right. Jonathan Groff.
Ooh, Hollywood Calling.
Okay. Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Oh, Broadway Bound.
Nicole Scherzinger.
After what I've heard for her latest musical, Hollywood is Calling. I would love nothing more than for her to be like the biggest
Star. Yeah, she's certainly got the goods, but I think she's got that Broadway sort of energy.
Oh, 100%.
But I wish her well in
yeah.
all of her endeavors. A true talent. Patti LuPone.
Broadway Bound.
Kristen Chenoweth.
Hollywood Calling.
Love that. Idina Menzel.
Hollywood Calling.
Adele Dazeem.
I mean, give her the Best Actress Academy Award 2025.
Okay, that's the game.
Love it. I have one for you. Snoopy's mom.
Wow. We should get her in a remake of Driving Miss Daisy, and then which we will write.
Yes.
And we also we need to star in it, so never mind.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if she can even get to Broadway at this rate. She'd need to be chauffeured.
Greg, should
we take a break?
Yes.
Yeah. We're back. I love you joining in on the back.
Yeah. I'm kind of doing like a backtrack, you know.
Oh, okay. I liked it.
Yeah.
I think it was a very interesting. Yeah, it's like you're my backup singer.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Making you sound better. You know.
Well,
what I do.
Listening to our voices, I can't tell if either of us sound good.
Oh, not for a second.
And speaking of our queer voices, which need to be heard, I think it's time for Diva Down, which is our segment where we give unsolicited advice to something or someone in the culture who needs our help now.
And this week, we turn the tables on us. We are the Divas Down.
The Divas Downs.
Because... Downs.
Yeah.
Yes.
Divas Down. You were correct.
And that is because, sadly, our producer, Benji, is taking a step back because he's doing exciting things in his career elsewhere.
He's busy. He's booked and blessed.
Yes. And so that's why so it's one of those things where you guys might have been wondering, he was there at the beginning.
Yeah.
And then he's still going to be editing and doing various things for us. But the reason why, and we were like, we should finally address it. The reason why you have not seen him or heard him in the background is because he has been too busy, and as a result, we are down.
Yeah, he's been lacking. A working girl, and we, of course, are, not enough for the listener.
You know, but I will say this: it's like he's not Diva Down; he's Diva Rising in the sense of he got out from us.
Yeah, he doesn't have to listen to us squawking.
Yeah, so he's kind of doing better than ever.
Yeah.
But my advice, just have to get right to it. My advice for us, is we were told very early on, we actually couldn't stop hearing how much some of the listeners loved those silky tones.
The dulcet tones of producer Benji.
He got all this love for his voice. Well, I couldn't help but notice we weren't really getting any compliments on our silky voices.
Yeah, no matter sort of how many times I ask people what they think of my voice, no one... they sort of evade the question.
It would sort of be like, well, Benji, that's a voice.
That's a man's voice. That is a sexy
You should have him talk more.
Yeah. I love it when he talks. Be like, what? Do you like what we have to say? How do you think of our jokes?
I couldn't hear it.
Yeah. They're like, well, the producer, I like when the producer talks. I like that. He sounds funny and good.
And so I think the advice for us is we should just start mimicking Benji's voice here on the pod.
Sure.
And then all of a sudden we'll get the compliments and we'll be Diva Rising. That's my advice.
I love that. That is great advice. Sort of my advice is to sort of have less talented friends. Obviously, like we're so blessed to have such talented friends who want to be work with us, and we'll miss Ben.
He's still around and doing stuff for us, but we're just addressing the fact that he has not been here.
Yes, yes.
And he'll pop, I'm sure, at some point when he's less booked and blessed, but probably not. Who knows?
Who knows? Who knows?
Yeah.
He doesn't want to be slumming it with us. But he does have a very specific Miss thing that he wants to discuss too. So we'll have him on as a guest.
Yes.
Yeah, for a very specific episode coming soon.
And as we close it out, listeners, we're going to continue on this mission of just don't forget to like and subscribe.
Wherever you can.
Yes, follow us and also watch us on YouTube.
Yes. Watch and subscribe on YouTube. If you're only listening, you're only getting half the story.
Yeah, and we know drama. TNT sponsor us. So if you like drama, come here.
Until next time.
We
love you.
Goodbye.
Bye. Miss Thing Podcast is created, executive produced, and hosted by Greg Trimmer and Tim Zientek.
It's produced and edited by Benji Simons, with cover art and additional creative support by Claude Zeins.
Follow us on TikTok and Instagram at Miss Thing the Pod.
New episodes drop every Tuesday. Watch on YouTube or listen on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Please subscribe, rate, and review, but only raves. Strictly 5 stars and above.
Follow Greg at Greg Trimmer and Tim at Tim_Zientek on all social media. Bonk!